Salutations, this is Timothy R. Furren here with
Melvin Kanaiza, aka Aurora.
And today we will be learning about the pluperfect indicative forms in Latin. Now first, there's the pluperfect active tense. This is formed by the third principal part plus ending. Examples of this would be porta eramus or porta eram. So, when you form this, you use the endings eram, eras, erat, eramus, eratus, erant. Each of these are translated to I had done something or I had ed'd. As you can see on screen, there is obviously 6 of these for each of the forms of how you speak to someone. Now let's move on to practice. So we can start with he had carried, translated to porta orerant. Now let's go down to traho, trahere, traxi, tractus. If we are trying to translate the they had dragged into this form, we would use traxi orerant. Now let's move on to amo. If we try to translate we had loved, it would be amo eramus. Now let's move on to y'all had poured. This would be fundi eratus. Now let's move on to the pluperfect passive tense.
Okay, so in Latin, when you are doing the pluperfect passive tense, you use the fourth principal part of a verb plus, or the PPP of the verb plus the imperfect tense of to be, which is erat, eramus, which is, yep. So for Latin, the singular one, so if you want to use, it's supposed to be eram for I, eras for you, erat for like he, eramus for we, eratis for you all, erant for they. So using this verb porto, portare, portavi, portatus, we will use the fourth principal part, which is portatus. And then because let's say you want to say I had been carried, you will put, so it will be portatus plus the ending eram. And then let's say you want to say they had carried, you will say portati erant. Since it is in plural, you will put, instead of the us, you put an I to make it plural. And so turn around and let's practice. Right, so we are going to use we are going to write I had been dragged in pluperfect passive tense. And give you 2 minutes to figure that out. So I had been dragged, we will take the first principal part, tractus, and because it's singular, it will be tractus, then we'll go to our ending, so it will be tractus eram. Then you had been loved. We will go to the fourth principal part, amatus, then add our ending for you, it will be eras. They had been poured. We will go to our fourth principal part or the PPP, so it will be fursi because it is in plural. Then we add our ending errant.
For deponents, just remember PIFAM, passive, inform, active, and meaning.
So for this, it means, like as Tim said, it is passive in form, active in meaning. So the examples, it can be dixerant, which means they had said, but in another form, which is a deponent, it can be locuti errant. And also another example is tempta eras, which can be conatus eras, which means you had tried. So the thing is, it is like passive in form, but active in meaning. Yep. Have a good day.